Alright, hello, and welcome back to another stream. Today I'm building this Paris City of Love architecture set, an interesting style for an architecture set. But yeah, should be an interesting one. So the build's starting off with the dark blue sky that it has in the background, um, with um, with sort of like a almost like postcard type of base. It's interesting. Of course, much larger than the Skyline sets that they've released previously. I do quite like those Skyline sets. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any stickers or anything like that in this build. A few prints. There's some different like star prints and things like that I'm applying to it now. But yeah. Um, it at least it shows it, and I put the piece down now. Seems like you're able to display this one on a wall as well, which is kind of fun. Um, and I guess that backing element to it definitely adds that to it, and certainly a nice way to display it. So yeah, I think that's probably how I'll display it, because I don't need any shelf space to do it that way, and I think I have a spot for it on the wall that will work. But yeah, just getting the dark blue bits of the build in there. I don't know if this is going to be the entire back of the build. I can't see a ton of dark blue in the next one, so it might be. I guess this one is similar to the I guess similar to some of the art sets, but also more sort of similar to like that Gotham skyline that they released a little while ago, which I think is retired now. I should pick up the minifigures from that. At least the Joker is the one I definitely would like. This one, I guess, has a bit more of a 3D aspect to it. The Eiffel Tower plays a big role. The sort of other buildings, less so. But yeah, it's an interesting concept for the architecture sets. And I think with this applied, this is pretty much the entire width of the set. And then I think it's going to just be doing a whole lot of tiling. One thing I guess with this one, unlike some of the other sets, this one I think some of the building is, at least especially like the Eiffel Tower, which plays a really big role in the build, has some larger elements, whereas a lot of architecture sets, I guess, do tend to have quite a few small elements in them. You get some large plates, and now I guess it's time to start to get the blue backing in there. There's these 1x1 tiles with a little star print on them. Seems like there's going to be quite a few of those at the backing, so that's a print included in the build. Definitely nice that those aren't stickers. Those would certainly not be the most fun things to apply. Alright, and now the big one, the other big element, and that I would assume is going to be a pretty much the size of the build. Maybe a little bit more at the base when you add the bricks that sort of protrude out from it. But yeah, let's see. Paris, the city of love, is one of the most popular proposal locations in the world. Wow, fun fact, fun. Cool. Alright, bunch more of these dark blue tiles. Certainly get quite a few of these printed ones, but yeah. I think this will be an interesting build. I haven't, it's been a while since I built an architecture set, because really most of the ones that I've bought are the skylines, as well as, there's one other I think I bought, but that was a few years ago now. Yeah. Four of these guys, a couple of these guys, and then two more of these printed tiles. I think there will be a bit more of the dark blue base later on in the build. Go. I like some of the exposed studs they have throughout the build. It mixes up the texture nicely. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is the last of them, so you get an extra of the printed tile and any of the other small elements. I guess with these architecture sets, you tend to get quite a few extra pieces, just with all the small elements that they have included in the build. Now, just a whole bunch of 2x4s, and that is it for bag 1 of the build. Getting a nice bit of the here. And now it's a lot of colorful pieces. And some bricks to, I guess, get the border of the bit of a bigger bag than the last one. Oh, and it looks like there's a few more of the star printed elements. I guess all these plates that are going into it now are the backing for some of the different buildings that will be present in the build. It looks like at least the start of it, of the Eiffel Tower part of the build, will be in the next bag. You can see some of those tan elements that they have in this one. Oh, I think maybe some of the detailed elements are starting to go into place. 1x6 plate in red. Now certainly certain to, I guess, get some of the detailed elements in, but also some of the very small one-by-one elements that I'm sure are going to be quite present throughout the build. Make sure I actually follow the steps correctly. Would probably be a decent idea to create a successful model. Alright, and a bunch more of the dark blue sky. I think now, with some of these gray elements, it's starting to get some of the building, some of the buildings constructed. Yeah. I like the 3D aspect of the build now. It sort of just pops out from the 2D backing. I think that's an interesting way to do it. Of course, it's been a while now since they made one of those skylines, so it'll be interesting to see if this is sort of how they do them going forward. And I guess one sort of disappointing part, if they did go with that, is that you'd sort of probably start with ones you've already made. I like those skylines, though, the smaller sets. I need to check how much this one was. I feel like it might have been 100, which for the amount of pieces seems like a good price, but of course a lot of those elements are very small. There's been a lot of tiled elements. I'm assuming that pretty much once this one is done, the most of the back of the build is complete. I guess there's another printed element for the little tile, 1x6, which is nice for sure. Oh, and here is the star. You don't get an extra one of those in this bag, though, by the looks of it. The city's rich architectural history is evident in buildings dating back to Roman times. Cool. I guess without any stickers, this build will go by relatively quickly, hopefully, since it's a 1x1. They won't need another one of those bell tiles that I just dropped. Hopefully that was the last one. We'll see. Or else I'll have to go find it somewhere. Could be an issue. Some interesting colors now, some lighter blue. I guess all that will be covered up, so it doesn't matter all that much. more dark bluish gray bits. Alright, now some sort of proper building up some stuff now. That base is mostly done. Hello. Okay, that's not a great idea. Fix that before got an issue later on. Probably a decent idea. Alright, that should be good to go now. Breaking stuff. Alright, and that bit of backing, so I guess there's going to be some sort of interesting building techniques likely with sort of building things backwards and upside down and a whole bunch of different directions. I think there were 7 bags when I emptied it out, so not a ton for the amount of elements that are in the set. Goes in place to put some tiles down, and now I guess it's time to build out the perimeter of the frame. Corner element, and then 6 of these guys. And 6. All right, and another layer. second. I need to check what I did when I was putting together this little bit, because I think I see. Need to put this this plate on top of there. That was not a good element to have an extra of. Alright, and that is bag number 2. Decent bit of the frame done, and the backing of the build. I think it's now time to get into the architecture itself of the theme. Some of the building elements. Gonna need one of these little pipe bits. Jumpers in place. Alright, I think pretty much put this sort of to the side now, and it will be building up the base of the Eiffel Tower. A lot of snotworks now. Guys, a 2x2 plate. And I guess this will probably just sort of slide in there somehow. Ooh, the angle that these jumpers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh no, never mind. I put way too many of them down. I knew it felt like I was placing a few too many of them. There we go. Base of this 3D element of the build. I guess compared to the past smaller skylines, I like this one's. I guess the other ones were quite 3D and they didn't have any sort of base, but I like how the base is used in this one. So Interesting. Some more dark bluish gray. And these angled tiles. Didn't lose them this time. Probably next time though. Some ingot pieces, which are always nice to see. I quite like that. That element adds some nice texture to builds. It's been nice to, after 2 bags of getting, of just working on the frame, it's nice to do some part of the build outside of it. Looks like a lot of dark tan in the next bag. These bags certainly going by relatively quickly, getting, I guess, bag-wise, getting close to the halfway point in the build. So it's definitely, with all the small elements, a relatively quick build for the piece count of the set. Gonna lose one of these ones at some point. There we go, some sloped curves and different modified tiles. The 1.5, I think, tall bricks. I think that's the height of that. I guess actually, no, they're not 1.5. They're maybe 3/4. I don't entirely know what they classify the height of this of these particular bricks to be, but they're a nice height to get some interesting different varying heights throughout build. I guess some little built elements. 6,100 streets connect the city. Wow. All right, back to this this part of it, with this now in place. Back to that dark tan. I love when these angled tiles that they have line up. They're quite nice. actually place these correctly. Probably be a decent idea to do that. Some interesting different snot bricks now. I guess that's one sort of interesting technique that they seem to definitely be using throughout the build, is using different studs on top techniques or bricks to at least get the, because there's certainly quite a few exposed studs, but at least to get the shaping of certain bits to make it flush with the different walls and such. Some more of the ingots. Some light blue. I don't think you'll see that when the build is finished. There's a few somewhat more colorful colors throughout the build. Alright. The 1x4 fence element used to represent iron ore was first released in 1976. Cool element. Nice one. I definitely have used this fence bit a few times for different things. Nice to line up well with those angled tiles. Let me actually place this correctly, would be a probably decent idea. Alright, I like how that's angled, and now that just clicks into there. Cool. And this pipe element to create some nice rounded shaping. Cool. Okay, and now with that done, this guy just goes into the base, and it's certainly coming together a little bit now. I like the 3D elements of it. Bag 4. I feel like I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than it is. I guess it's going to have a decent amount of height once the Eiffel Tower is completed, and I guess that will sort of give it a little bit more size. But I thought the base might be a little bit bigger than it is. Smaller bag here, but looks like a lot of small elements, mostly all in dark tan, and getting now some light bluish gray in there. nice different textured elements. Alright, classic Lego bricks and slope elements carefully combined to form a micro city skyline. Exciting. Some more different snot bricks. And yeah, just like that. Step said, quite a few just regular bricks, but those snot bricks definitely add to getting some cool angles to the build, as well as a few different newer sloped elements. I don't need this guy. I see it. Wonderful. And a little cone element on top. And that is that part of the skyline, and now some more, which I guess will be probably most of this this step. Actually, maybe not. There's not a ton more grays in this step. There's a lot of dark tan left, so unless of course there's a different color used for the skyline than just the gray. But I like how the gray works with the background and sort of blending into the background while still having some nice nice details back there. And now getting some of that, some of those dark tan in there with all these different curved tiles. I need to bring out the brick separator to straighten these guys up. Alright, and now this guy just goes beside what was built previously. Cool. And now it took 30 years to build the arc. I have no clue. I should know, considering I took French for how many years? A few years. Got an arch big. Same thing, just on the other side. I like these small elements and how they they come together. Some very nice small details with this build. Probably since it's a little bit larger, you're able to get a few more details at this slightly larger scale than the previous skylines, and also since it's been a few years, there's some nice newer sloped elements. The gold colored ingot element is used to capture some of the sculpture details on the arch. This is its first appearance in sand yellow. Cool. Very nice detailing on that. So this is the first time that they've had this. That's a useful recolor for other buildings. Because I know I've used it in tan like I have in this build and other things before, but surprised it hasn't appeared in dark tan before, or sand yellow in this. And this is past now the halfway point in the build. Some different jumper elements. Ooh, I like how these jumpers are used to create an interesting shape for the roof, how it's offset from the other elements. That's very nice. Or I guess the top of the arch, not really a roof, but nice elements. I guess that is pretty much all the dark tan for the build. All the rest of it, I think, will just be extra elements up there. It's like all a bunch of small parts. And a bit more of the skyline. Cool. Alright. Those all look like they're reasonable elements of extra bugs. Oh, and a lot of small elements by the looks of it. 2 bags worth. Well, I think probably be intentional here. The colors of the French flag used to build up this structure, which is always fun when they use small little detail elements like that. Some grill parts. Some nice sloped curves. Grove is the largest art museum in the world by area, spanning over 753,473. Oh my goodness, that's not how to say a number. Square feet. 700 or 70,000 meters squared. All right. This element in there. The back of the angular, oh my goodness, right. 1x1 bricks create perfect micro scale windows. Okay. So far, a pretty fun build. The same small elements. Great big French flag is the last one, and some more grill elements. A lot of 1x1s now. Well, not a whole lot of ones. I guess 6. Or no, 7. Oh, that one's gone. Hopefully there's an extra one and I don't have to go looking around for it. There should be. But now I just can't lose another one, or else I'd be in trouble then. Yeah, they do definitely create nice small windows. Some more ingot pieces, same technique as the last side, just a little bit larger. I guess double the size of the other one. Whole lot of these sloped tiles. I lost one of them, so that's somewhere. But yeah, I feel like I have quite the parts collection built up from just small 1x1 extra pieces, and probably some cool printed ones in there as well from different extra cool printed elements. And I guess this little star extra piece will go into that line of cool printed parts. Ooh. This 3-wide jumper. Put it in there. 1x1 tiles rotated 45 degrees create the diamond-shaped panes of the striking glass pyramid. glass, and then it sort of just perfectly goes on there. Very nice. It's nice. All right. On to the next part of the build. Certainly a lot of small elements. So even though I think the price per piece probably looks pretty good for that, 10 cents per piece, which now feels like I don't know, it definitely doesn't feel like a very useful number, but I guess it's still the sort of standard it's thought of in the space, and I think this one pretty much fits that pretty well. Yeah, I think it was 100. Let me check that right now. Put this to the next page. Multitasking like this is not going to be a good idea. Going to lead to messing up the build, but I just want to check. I feel like it was 100. Yes, it is. So yeah, that like 10 cents per piece, which is feel like that's definitely something, especially hasn't been all that common with, especially with the Canadian pricing. That I feel like never happens. So getting that close to it, but it's a lot of small elements. There's some nice prints, and there's a few somewhat larger bricks and a few larger plates, but it's certainly a majority of small elements. So I don't know, the size of the set, I guess it will have a bit more height once the fully built, but some slopes, more of the dark bluish gray and light bluish gray skyline that they have throughout the build, which I like the choice of color for that, or I guess lack of, just so that it's there and you have those detail elements, but it sort of blends into the background of the build nicely. So yeah, it's interesting. I guess I'll see when it's finished, but I'm so far liking the build. I guess going into it, I was a big fan of that skyline style that they had for a while, but I think I'm enjoying this one enough to at least be interested to see how they continue to do these, because I would assume that this style sort of sticks around for a while, but I guess they still have, I think the London set is still out, so I guess they still have some of the that style still around, adding some more depth. That base, this side of the build is pretty much done. And there's 2 bags left, so not a ton remaining, but still enough to build up the Eiffel Tower as well as the other side of the build. these last 4 pieces going into there. It will be the most of the frame complete. I think I'll now just be sort of tiling off the bottom of it. But yeah, I'm liking that's feeling. It's certainly starting to feel pretty substantial. The bag and bag here. 6. A lot of tan elements. And 2 bags worth of small elements. A lot of tiles and plates by the look of it. And certainly quite a few small bits as well. Alright, let's see the build itself. The announcement of the Birthlink Designer Program Series 10 comes out today, I think, which be interesting to see what sets get picked for that. I haven't got an email yet, or at least since I checked it. So don't think any of my designs for that are going through, but I think I have a few planned out for the next stage. Now that palette is open, but I'm interested to see what goes through. Yeah, I guess at that point when you submit a design, it's more judging the other ones that do get picked a bit harder, and yeah, so there was I guess most of the builds that I submitted, actually all of them are sort of more in that smaller category. There's 2 that sort of qualify for, I think, sort of that middle category, and then 2 that would go into the smaller category. I think when I was looking through the small designs, there were a couple that I think are good, and if not better than the ones I submitted, and would be happy to see go through. There was one I actually saw when I went through it yesterday that I saw, and it was a playground one, like I had submitted, and honestly I thought it was probably better than the one I had done, so I'd be happy with that one for the small ones. But it'll be interesting to see. There's always a ton of castles, so it'll be interesting to see what gets picked in terms of those guys. Ooh, that fits in there. Very nice. That's very nice. Okay, some more. Ooh. Pretty much the same fact as before. Maybe. Alright. Getting near the end of the build, and I guess this is just over an hour. I was thinking this stream was probably going to be a little bit longer than it actually is, but I guess there's no stickers. Those always sort of slow up the build, and it's sort of relatively easy to construct. There's no minifigures to open up and discuss, and yeah. I guess one thing too, there was the leak of the Eevee mold yesterday, which looks like a really nice piece. I don't really want to buy a buildable Pokeball, but yeah, it looks like a really cool element, and one that I definitely want to get, so we'll sort of compare how much the element is to how much the set is, and what else you get in the set, and if that's whichever one seems of better value, I'll go with that. But I certainly will want that Eevee piece at some point. Some more dark tan in there. Napoleon's coronation was held in the Notre Dame Cathedral, which I guess is what's being constructed now. I feel like there might actually be, there seems like probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sort of big landmark builds, which is probably similar to what the smaller Skyline set did, but I guess this one does it slightly larger, but also I guess just in a whole different style. This is certainly quite a few different slot bricks and different elements. Should fix that, or else this probably will mess up the look of the build a decent bit, not placing the part correctly. Ooh, that's a fun direction to place these little teeth elements on the inverted sides. Create these arches. Pointed Gothic arches are captured by using the bottom of tooth plates. That's love myself some pointed arches. Was definitely one of my favorite things when I was studying architecture history in my first semester of studying architecture. Loved myself some pointed arches, and actually I definitely used them for a while for different things, and still use them now when I get a chance to. I really like how they're done here. Just line that up better. Cool. Alright. Some more of those tooth plates. Use the same way as before. I guess I'm gonna have to do this one more time, unless I guess actually it tells me that once I finish this that I had to do it a second time. Yep, that was, I knew that was coming. Alright, I should be able to construct this just by looking at what I did previously. At least I hope so. There we go. Alright, now to build. Wonderful. too much. Alright. Those lovely pointed arches once again. Alright, that into place. And fix that up. Alright, this guy. Top of these. Get these as straight as I can. Make them look alright. Interesting. I feel like I haven't done this all that much where I've had to build to. I feel like most of the times I've just flipped through the instructions, but more of an interesting exercise to go back and look at what was previously built and go from there. Very nice arches though, with the tooth elements to get the pointedness of them. And that will be mostly it. Just need to get these tiles in place. And there we go. And same procedure on the other one. Very nice columns now put together. And these now we'll be able to go and build. These look really nice. Some cool different plates to create a real nice micro scale design. I really like that quite a bit. Alright, now the sort of center area of it. Similar idea to the last one, but this time I won't have to build it twice. Nice little techniques to get these plates to their inverted side to sort of get some nice texture for the windows. And now the rim elements in tan. I feel like that hasn't really appeared in a Speed Champion set before in that color. Really no reason to, so don't know if that's a new recolor of the piece, but a nice color to get some very nice texturing. there. Go. Some jumpers. I like the use of jumpers throughout this set to sort of offset different things from each other. It's a nice element for doing that. All right, and now there's a couple more elements. Notre Dame Cathedral's 31.49 feet rose window is represented here by a Lego hubcap element. Cool. All right, and that is that. That's nice. Cool. It's definitely gotten some weight to it now, and now I think it's pretty much just the Eiffel Tower that's left. And I'll set for a little bit on the frame, but the surrounding area to it, and all the dark bluish gray and light bluish gray skyline elements. In there. Right. Oh, and there is the little 1x8 plate for City of Love written on it. Name of the set. Nope. Where is this? One by, okay, well I have an extra one, so I'm just going to use that. Alright. That's in place there. Some 1x2 plates and the slopes, continuing the slopes, and that is most of the frame. There's just, okay, gotta finish the frame and then I guess do the Eiffel Tower is how they've got you doing it. Some 1x4 plates. And I think that is pretty much the frame is set. There's just a few studs there to, I guess, cover up some of the red details. And yeah, that will be it. Alright, long plate there. street elements to the build. Angle these a little bit. Some candlestick pieces in black. Oh, I guess I don't need to angle the ones I already put. Just need to angle the ones that are going to be put down. Looks all right. Same candlestick idea. Cool. Okay. Put this to the side now, I think, so I'll just click into the rest of the build. The fencing sword element here is kind of a cool color in tan. Some ingot elements. Alright. And a bunch of fences. Certainly a lot of small tan elements in this this final bag of the set. Interesting way to place that. Jumpers, and now some more fence bits. Three wide jumper elements. And I think I'm going to have to do this pretty much one more time to get the other side of this builds up. That more than 2.5 million rivets hold the Eiffel Tower together. They are represented here in Lego form by the tube side of plates. Cool. The anti-studs, I guess, do a good job of doing that. I guess to change up the building experience a little bit, they have to do it in a different way. Bunch more fence elements, but I think there's only 4 left, I think, now after this one, so getting through them when it comes to the fences. Oh, so this one is actually built up slightly different to the other one. I don't know if it's... No, I guess these are going to sort of come together more like that, which is now the next step. Gotta just skip to that, and I would have got the answer to that question pretty quickly. There. Cool. Some dark blue. Oh, and these, I think, are not the last of the fences. Maybe. Might be. Certainly used quite a few of them throughout the build. But I've enjoyed it so far, or I guess have enjoyed it. It's not really at the so far point. It's at the end of it, but decent build, and yeah, be interesting to see if they continue with this style and sort of move away from the. Of course, it feels like they've kind of moved away from the skyline style of build, and moved to more this one with the frame of it. But that was probably not the best way to pick up the build, but I guess it's sturdy. That was a decent test of that. Okay, this doesn't actually attach anyway to the rest of it, more just... Oh, and uses... Oh. Before I do that, I should probably actually attach these correctly. Would be a decent idea. Let me check out how's this supposed to go in there. I go. That took a bit too long to figure that out. But that looks a bit more proper. Alright, and the last of the fences after certainly quite a few of them come to the end. Some nice, feel like relatively new ladder elements. Cool. Alright, I'm assuming one of the last fun facts. This Lego architecture Eiffel Tower's spire is made of a minifigure's fencing sword. I'm assuming that's probably the last of the little facts throughout the instruction manual. Always enjoy those. They're fun facts. Alright, dished element, that fencing part. And you just get an extra one of the, I guess you do, of the arched or pipe elements. And I think that is the build. Cool. The Lego architecture, Paris, City of Love. Nice set. I like the 3D elements of it, and yeah, I think this is an interesting way to do the different skyline sets, and I think I kind of like it this way. I like its ability to display it on a wall. I think that's pretty fun, and I think it's a fine display as well. Just on a desk, of course, it doesn't look great from behind with all the anti-studs, but you never, or shouldn't see that without display. But yeah, fine set. Yeah, certainly, because you only used one of them, I think. A lot of these extra rims. But yeah, definitely not like the biggest. I think this one was 100 Canadian. Biggest $100 Lego set, because there's a ton of small elements in there, so like the price per piece looks good with like 900 and what is it, 58 to that $100 price point. But there's a lot of small elements, a few larger ones too, some big plates to make up the base, some bricks throughout, but nothing too big. So yeah, a lot of small elements that go into it, but those small elements are used pretty well for some nice detailing throughout the build. But yeah, solid build. So yeah, that's it for today's stream. Next week, I don't entirely know what I'm going to be building, but I know I have a few builds or a few sets to get through. But yeah, that is it for today. So thank you for watching, and anyone watching the stream later on, thank you very much as well. But yeah, see you on the next stream sometime next week. So yeah.